All right, guys, we're live again. Dynamic Man Podcast, episode 68. When she doesn't do what your ex did. So this is gonna be a fun one today. It's always fun over here, but this is one I think is gonna actually be very, very helpful and useful for a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys, I've had so many clients who have over the years brought up this issue to me. So I want to go into it. I want to tackle it, be short and sweet, hit this one on the nose. So, one of the big issues that guys face is that when they are dating, dating a woman, and let's say things are going pretty great with a woman, right? Um, One client recently, he's been dating this woman, been seeing each other for about two months or so at this point, two almost getting on 2.5 months now, and they see each other multiple times throughout the week. But what's the problem? The problem is that she's just not like a really big texter. She's not, trying to text him throughout the day. She's a nurse. She's, busy doing her own thing, right? Um, but she's always hanging out. Like they do things with each other all the time. She's very laid back. And he was wondering like, the other girls I dated, they didn't do this kind of stuff. I had to remind him, are you with the other girls you dated? Are you with them? AG, what's up, my man? It's great. It's great to see you on here. I had to ask him, I'm like, because this is one of the things that guys make a big mistake about. They compare the girl that they're seeing to their ex. There's two mistakes for this. The first reason is that they can ignore a good trait. They can devalue a good trait in a woman because because they've been used to dating messed up women. They've been used to dating messed up women. So when a woman isn't messed up, they think she's messed up. They see it's a red flag because I don't have to text her all the time to keep her attention on a treadmill. Let's get to the point here. This is like going on a sales call with somebody and refusing. They're ready to buy, and you just keep going on and on. You're like, it's a problem because they're not asking more questions. They just want to, put the money down right now and start doing things. Um, it is a bad habit that guys get into to start valuing behavior that we see a lot on the internet, or that we've had with girls that we dated unsuccessfully. Okay, just because women did this, and you dated women who behaved a certain way, if things didn't work out, they were difficult to date. You should be discounting that behavior rather than elevating it. Okay, it would be one thing if she wasn't texting, but she was also being really flaky about hanging out. Then she's just not interested at all. But what it really shows is that she is not attention seeking. She's not attention seeking. She doesn't need to chase after his attention all the time, which means that she's a little bit more individuated as a woman. She's happy just to come see him, go do things with him, making it easy to actually have a relationship. Go figure. The second problem, though, is that, let's say even your ex had a good trait, or there was something about your ex that you liked, and your current girlfriend doesn't have it. You have to look also at the personality comprehensively. And you have to look at it comprehensively in the standpoint of, okay, even let's say that this trait was good that my ex had. I liked it. What else came with it? What else came with that trait? Typically, a lot of really bad shit happened with that trait. Okay. I had a lot of sexual chemistry with an ex. Happened with my wife too, but I had a lot of sexual chemistry with my ex, right? Very particular kind of sexual chemistry. Yeah, that was great. The rest of it wasn't. Rest of it wasn't, you know? And this is one of those things, like, conversationally, maybe some kinds of topics are easy to talk about with a girl. Another one isn't. Another topic isn't. Like, when another ex of mine, it was really easy to talk about nothing with her. Like, we had very easy small talk. Possible to have any real conversation with her, though. You know, I can talk to my wife about anything. I can talk to her about serious stuff. I can talk to her about lighter stuff. It doesn't flow. The lighter stuff doesn't flow as easy with my original girlfriend, my first girlfriend. My first girlfriend, she, like, you know, it was just very, like, it was just, you felt like you could just talk on the phone for hours and hours and hours. Neither my wife or I are like that with each other. I'm not like that, I don't feel like, with most people, but she could talk and I could listen and it was enjoyable. Okay. But there was no depth in the conversation. So that stuff all got traded away. There's trade-offs. There's trade-offs in these kind of things. One good part of a sexual experience can be exchanged for a bad part of the sexual experience. One good part of the conversation can be exchanged for one bad for another good part. You know what I mean? I hope you guys are understanding this. You have to look at the person holistically, comprehensively. And you always have to think, if I got this good thing, what did it cost me? You're always going to get a cost with a girl. You're always going to get a cost with a girl. And you're going to get a cost with a girl because you need to have a cost with a girl. If every single thing about you and your relationship with a woman was perfectly easy, no problem, no issue whatsoever, do you know what you would be? You would be bored. You'd be bored. Or something else outside of the personalities coming. I've said this before. I see the people who had the most perfect relationships, pure harmony, pure connection, pure chemistry. Someone dies. Just happens. Okay. Just in the same way that they say there's no 10 out of 10. In my world, there's no 10 out of 10 unless someone's dying. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Um, but you can get a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, though, is going to have friction areas. So you're not trying to avoid having any trade-off in any area. The point is just that, is it going to be constructive? Is it a constructive trade-off? And what do you get with it? With my wife, I have, like, the most effortless wit between the two of us. Like, sense of humor couldn't be easier. It could not be easier. We can just joke with each other all day long, and we just have a good time. Always been like that. Okay, so when we have some friction areas, like, she can be a little too perfectionistic, let's say, right? And maybe, you know, I can be a little more unstructured sometimes. I could get into, like, the weeds with this stuff. Doesn't really matter. Point is, we have our friction points. Okay, we have our friction points, and sometimes I didn't have that friction point with an ex, but I had a lot of other ones that were worse. So don't compare her to your ex on a single variable ever. Don't compare your girl to an ex on a single variable ever. Especially don't compare some fucking random girl who you didn't even get into a relationship with. No idea who that person was. It didn't work out for a reason. You're gonna actually compare who you're with now. You can't compare someone to a static emotion that you experience with someone. Oh, well, the date I had with my girlfriend wasn't as good as this date I had with a girl 5 years ago. Okay, you sound like a fucking retard. Like, you're removing total context and environment from the equation and longevity and blah 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 blah. So, really, when you see your mind doing these tricks on you, you always have to. It's the same thing I tell guys trying to get over an ex. You always have to remember what that relationship was completely, every aspect of it. Remember the bad parts of it. So You are looking to compare to the whole, not to a single variable. Very, very important. Um, and you want to value at the same time, you want to think, what does she do that no other woman did for me before? What makes her stand out? Girl, your wish should stand out in some area. And be careful that you don't underappreciate the area that she gives you that other women didn't give you. Because sometimes it's one of those things, like, it's so good, it's so natural, it's so easy. It makes your life so much better, you don't even think about it. Unless other women deliberately, like, hurt you in that area, you might not even know how good it is. Like, I'll tell you one thing that, I don't take it for granted, but I do have to, like, I don't take it for granted, but I do kind of forget how incredibly loyal my wife is. Like, she's such a low cheat risk woman, and I compare that to, my 2 exes, one of which was higher cheat risk when I look back on it. When I've run the numbers, one was a higher cheat risk woman, and she probably did cheat, and the other one was not, like, high cheat risk or anything like that, but she was not, much more of a risk, much less reliable. Not a bad woman by any means, but I'm just saying, like, I have I have so much, some guys have to really worry about that with their girls. They have to really worry that if things go in a bad direction, she's gonna any kind of bad misfortune happens, she's gonna go the wrong direction. So, have to weigh them holistically, comprehensively, and if you don't do this, you're gonna be miserable. It's misery to try to seek out some woman who is a combination of every every good woman or every good experience that you've ever had. It's just not realistic. It's not realistic. It's not even good for you. But I'll also say it's also unrealistic. A lot of times, what you think was good maybe really wasn't that good, right? You know, don't get so much into your head over, because sometimes guys will, to track back to the beginning of this video, sometimes guys, their big issue is that they are prioritizing, they are valuing, they think because other women did something for them, that the fact that their woman doesn't do it is a bad thing, but maybe it's a good thing. Maybe they actually are finally with a woman. The relationship overall is better. Maybe that variable was a problem or was an indicator of a problem, right? Just to return to that initial example, my clients' exes always needing to text throughout the day, but then a few dates they're gone. Obsessed with attention, not actually, prepared to form connection. Obsessed with it with attention wasn't a good sign. It's not the texting in itself that's the problem, but it's clearly indicating some other pattern of behavior with these women. They didn't get all the attention they were looking for, or their attention or your attention became devalued. They were done with it. So anyway, guys, that's the whole point. Point of this video. I want you to think very carefully. Check your thinking. Check these beliefs that come up, because you could really fuck yourself up. You could really ruin something great. It's literally like that meme. It's like that meme of someone taking, like, a stick, that guy, some guy's on, like, a bike, and he takes a stick and he puts a stick in the wheel of the bike, and the bike flips over and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe this happened. How did this happen?" It's like, you put the fucking stick in your bike, you dumbass. A bit off topic, but what would your read be on an ex reaching out after 2 years randomly? Well, what did she say exactly? She's just like, "Hey," what did she say? The reason this is relevant, I mean, look, the what she says makes an impact, but even if it's just like a reach out, 9 out of 10 times the next reaches out wasn't yeah, just express gratitude. Okay, so 9 out of 10 times when a woman reaches out, an ex reaches out to you, it's because they're thinking about you and they wanna get back together. Could be that they're out of a breakup themselves, they're feeling lonely. Don't make the mistake of thinking that they're doing it because they actually like you. You are a projection of an emotional state. So they wanna get back. They might wanna get your attention again because they're just not feeling great about themselves. And they think back and they're like, "Oh, well, my ex, we had some good times together." Kinda related to the topic actually. We had some great times together, you know, I miss him. I wonder if he misses me. You know, the guy I like doesn't want to see me anymore, but my ex always treated me so well. That kind of stuff, right? I will say though, if she goes and she's expressing gratitude and that's it, uh, gratitude is a little bit, it can fall into the 10%. It depends what else she says and if there's a conversation that comes from it. Because gratitude can be like a way of healing and processing. Gratitude is not like gratitude has an implied closure in it. You know, it's like, thank you for what we had. Thank you for teaching me this. There's like an implied like finality. And it can be a product of doing inner work and reflection, not necessarily trying to I'm saying it is implying closure. Gratitude implies closure. It's not like 100% means closure, but it kind of implies it. Because it's not like, "I'm thinking about what you did," or blah, blah, blah. It's like, "I've reflected on us, and I appreciate it. I appreciate, you know, this and this and this." It's not like, "I miss you." It's like, "That was a good time, we were young," kinda thing. So it could fall in that 10%, but, look, find out more if you want. Find out more about what's going on with her. The more she tries to engage, if it's just like a message and then it's kind of cool afterwards, then maybe that's all it was on some sort of self gratitude kick, self work kick. But if it is something that's really, um, yeah, I mean, during the holidays, maybe I mean, it can be a combination. If you say I'm grateful for you too, see what happens. You know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to deflect from the main thing. X reaches out, X says anything. Um, she's thinking about you. The question is just what does her thinking about you mean? Does it mean processing and closure? Does it mean temporary loneliness or horniness? Does it mean deeper kind of, intent and regret? Usually it means temporary loneliness and horniness, usually what it means. In life, we're supposed to go forward, not backwards. The only time that we look back is to process and close the door on, right? To what's the lesson from it? We don't live in the past. So, all right, guys, appreciate you. Good show. See you tomorrow, same time. Take care.